Yo, what's up guys? I hope you're all doing well. With midnight being less than a month away, there is a lot of things that will be going away when the new expansion launches, and there will be some things that are easy to do now, which will become harder when the expansion gets here. So here are the 7 things that I would recommend trying to get before midnight gets here, and they're from all different parts of the game: raids, collectibles, limited time events, and things like that. So let's get straight into it. Okay, so first let's talk about the raid. If you have not done much of the raid, all of the raids right now have reputation grinds, and as we move into the next expansion, there'll be less people running the raids, so it's probably going to be harder to do. But if you go into your adventure guide, you will see there are reputations for the raids. So for example, right now we have the Mana Forge Vandals. For the Undermine, we had the Galagio Rewards Club, and these were places you could, every time you defeat a boss, you get experience and you level up these reputations. And these have pretty cool rewards. So if you type in Vandals, for example, you have the Vandals Gear Glider, which is like a flying, we have the mount, then you have the Bone Freezer, which is another mount from there. And you can go into the thing here, and you can look along at what you can get. I still need like 3 more levels, but you have titles, you can teleport to the dungeon, you have things like as you defeat the bosses, you'll get rewards that you can hand in outside for cosmetics. You can get the Star Savior title. So there's a lot of really cool stuff, and it's definitely worth doing. Alongside, as you do the raids, you also get all the cool rewards within them, but you can do this on like any difficulty and get this reputation. Secondly, again with the raid, would be the raid mounts. So if you're doing Mythic, there is a Mythic mount for beating Mythic Dimensius, but there is also a mount for Heroic, which is much easier to get. It's called the Royal Voidwing, and Heroic has never been easier. With the stat squish, these bosses are melting before they even get their mechanics down. I went in the other night, like the start of the week, and we blasted all the way to the last boss, and it was just no brain. Everyone was just blasting through. Everyone is Giga Geared. The stat squish has made the bosses really easy, and the only boss that starts to get hard is the final boss. People are being like, they're doing like helpful runs to help people get this. So if you have like even a small amount of gear, you should be able to get yourself into a heroic raid and try and get this. It's definitely something I would try and get because it's stunning. And obviously as we move on, it might be harder to get this. Okay, next up is Horrific Visions. If you've never done these, they give so many mounts and cool rewards, and we are still unsure what the status of this will be as we go into the next expansion. It's still here right now in pre-patch, and you can still go in and do it and get these rewards. It's right here in Dornagal in the bottom left, you can't miss it. And if you go to Tori here, you will see they have a ton of rewards here. So as you earn these corrupted mementos, you can get some pretty cool rewards. You've got like this mount here, you've got this mount here. And, you know, if you don't care about mounts, there's also some pretty cool rewards like backpacks and cloaks and things like that. But inside, there are like hidden achievements you can do that give other mounts. So you've got like the Mail Muncher, you've got the bike, the Void Fire Cycle, this one here, which is really cool. And I've got a bunch of guides on my channel of how to get all these cool mounts and rewards. So I definitely advise spending some time. You can do this solo or with friends and just grind out some of these mounts. Some of them you just do it. It's really easy to get some of the mounts. You can do it in like half an hour. And then some will take a bit more time and a bit more looking into and reading up on. And I will say some of this does require gear. You know, as you push difficulty, it's called putting up masks, and there's guides for it, but you can up the difficulty quite a lot, and doing it on the harder difficulty will need some gear. Okay, next up would be the Midnight Pre-Patch event, and this is super easy. It's a really quick and pretty unfulfilling event. You can get it done in just a couple of hours, and they've currently made it easier so that you had to farm a lot of rares, and they've reduced the time it takes for those to spawn. So it's easier than ever. You can get this mount here, which is this one here, the Retrained Sky Raider. You can get this one just for doing the basic quests and buying it for 100 of the insignias. And you can get the achievement mount here, which is the Light Forged Mecha Suit and the Thorn of Twilight title for defeating all of the rares once in that zone. So yeah, the Twilight Ascension Midnight Pre-Patch event is definitely worth doing. Like I said, I did this before the nerf and it just took a couple of hours, so you'll blitz through it now they've made it easier. Okay, next up, love or hate them, delves are a great place to get good rewards. So if you go into the adventure guide and you scroll down, there will be a thing here called delves at season 3. You can get some skins for the robot mounts that you can do. You can also get there are achievement mounts, there are boss mounts from the delves. There's the Glory of the Delve achievement. So you've got Glory of, I haven't done any of these, I haven't touched delves, I'm not a personal fan, but it's something I might do before midnight. So Glory of the War Within Delver should be here. There it is, the War Within Delver. So there is a mount, the Ivory Goliathus, for doing this, which looks like this, which is another one of these big beetle things you can go and get. And all of the coins that you're getting from the delves, you can come to the vendors in the town in Dornagal, and you can see they have these rewards here. A lot of them are pretty useless, but some have like pretty cool cosmetics, like the backpacks. You've got disguises, you've got toys, You've got the ethereal outfits. So all of these ethereal outfits, like 5,000 undercoins, gets you the full outfit. So they're pretty cool. You can do the same for the undermine. You can get these outfits here, which if you like those, you can get the hollow fall outfits. These ones here, there's one for each type here as well. And then if you go to the weapon sets in here, you have the ethereal weaponry, and you can see here you get all of these for just 5,000 undercoins. You would get all of these different ones. So no matter what you're planning to play, you get one of each. So if you've not got any of these, some of them are really nice, like the warglaives are sick. The shield looks really cool. And similarly, they have the same for the undermine ones. If you're into this like goblin type stuff, you can get all of these as well. The next thing I would recommend is the Brawlers Guild. So if you have any sort of gear like Veteran Plus, you should be able to get a good chunk of the Brawlers Guild done. The Brawlers Guild is available in 2 places. You can get it in Orgrimmar, or you can get it in Stormwind. In Orgrimmar, it's in like the northeast. I'll try and put it up on the screen. And in Stormwind for the Alliance, it is in the Deep Run Tram. Go in the Deep Run Tram, jump down, and there's a little hidey hole you can go into. And when you're in here, you just have to fight a bunch of monsters in the arena, one after the other. I'll say if your gear is terrible, it's pretty hard. You're gonna struggle. But if you have, say, past normal raid, if you've got anything past normal raid, just basic, fairly good gear, this is a lot easier. I tried it on 2 characters today. I tried it on a mage who was in like the last season's gear, and it was doable, but every fight was a bit scruffy. And then I did it on a warlock who is fairly well geared, heroic raid gear pretty much, and it was a lot easier. So take that with what you will. Try and find out what it'll be like for you. You can always go in here, have one go, and if you're finding it really, really hard, it's maybe not for you, but you get a couple of mounts, a bunch of housing items, and you can also get a title. There's a guy to the left who gives challenges, and you can set yourself up with challenges. And every time you do one of these challenges, you'll get a achievement, and doing them all will get you an achievement. I think it's called Brawl Star. So I'd definitely go and do this right now. It seems like a good time to chunk away at this. And with the amount of catch-up gear available, if you spent a few days getting catch-up gear, like we have a month, if you spent a few days getting catch-up gear, a vault or 2, you should be able to knock this out really easily. Once you have it, once you can do it, you can just queue on repeat. There's no time gating of this. You can just queue on repeat. In an hour, you can get all these rewards, assuming there's not too many people doing it at once. And lastly, I'm just going to leave this as like a catch-all, like a broad tip. And it's just all of the stuff in the War Within that you never got around to finishing. Now's a good time to go and do it. If you haven't done, say, the meta achievement, there's a meta achievement called the World Soul Searching, which is like all of the different events, like Pathfinder. There's the Goblin stuff, there's the Radiant stuff, there's the Mana Forged Omega quests, Naru Palace, all these little. So all of these are like they're like achievements for a zone. So for example, Liberation of Undermine had its own event: defeat the following bosses on heroic difficulty, and then you get that. And then that was the same for all of the different things. And I'm going to work on this. And if you do this, you get a mount and you get a housing item. So this is like the meta achievement for the for the War Within. So you can go and do these, and then all of the other things that you feel like you might have missed. If you go in your adventure journal, there's things like the Koreshi Trust. So in Koresh, there's doing all the world quests and all of the dailies over there will get you rewards and mounts. There's the Flames Radiance. There's the all of the different Undermine stuff. You can see there's like all of these original reps from the War Within. Now's just a great time because there's loads of people flying around and try and do this catch-up gear. If you go into the Undermine right now, you'll find hundreds of people just clicking on the trash, trying to do all of those old mounts. There's like 30 mounts from the Undermine. So now's just a good time to anything. If you've got stuff like this, like level 24 out of 20, things like that, you can just go and top them up while there's loads of people flying around doing them, loads of groups doing those things. So yeah, I'm going to wrap it up there. If there's anything else you think is worth mentioning, let people know down below. If there's anything you think people need to get done now rather than wait to midnight, let me know and others know, because there's a lot that came out of this expansion, and there's definitely something missed here. So yeah, that's it for the video. If you want to see more, do subscribe to the channel. But thank you for watching. Take care.